the reproductive system. So female health issues will typically, if you go to a gynecologist and you have PMS or you have PCOS or some other female health issue, you're going to probably end up focusing, your specialist is probably going to end up focusing on your ovaries or your uterus, your reproductive system. But perhaps they might want to think about focusing on your adrenal glands. Even better, we can focus on our own adrenal glands. This link between adrenal health and female health issues is very, very underappreciated. If you got adrenal health issues, you are setting you're approaching perimenopause, you're in your 30s or 40s or 50s, and you have adrenal health issues, you are setting yourself up for a lousy menopause. That's what a lousy menopause is. It's an adrenal issue. And it should come as no surprise that we have that's par for the course as women get older. It's par for the course to have hot flashes and insomnia and jitteriness. And for the guys out there, it's miserable. And the only reason I know about it is because I see it all the time, and I work with women all the time. It's awful, and it's so tragically unnecessary. It's an adrenal issue. So what do? You go to the gynecologist, the specialist, and they give you estrogen, which amps up the system even more. You get a smart gynecologist, they'll get you some progesterone because that helps your adrenal glands and it calms your body down. Yes, if you are dealing with a menopausal crisis, or you don't want to be dealing with a menopausal crisis, focus on adrenal health. If you're already into the hot flashes and you're into the insomnia and jitteriness and emotional issues and skin problems, etc., start working with some of these adrenal health strategies, including getting yourself on pregnenolone. I'd be careful about DHEA, but you might want to try that too. Take pregnenolone before you go to bed. Take pregnenolone, 100 milligrams of pregnenolone every day. If you're dealing with hot flashes, you're dealing with menopausal symptoms. Now, I'm not saying that's all you need to do. You definitely want to be stabilizing your blood sugar. And, of course, as always, focusing on digestive health. What you don't need to do is go to an endocrinologist or a gynecologist. Sorry to my friends who are endocrinologists and gynecologists. You're irrelevant for the most part. We can do this ourselves. In my opinion, the best way to approach PMS, PCOS, hot flashes, and menopausal symptoms, any kind of female reproductive health issues, is not gynecological. It's physiological. So instead of focusing on gynecology, in my opinion, we want to focus on the health of the body. This is where the triangle of disease becomes so important. Female health issues are about the triangle. The top of the triangle is your adrenal glands, or the adrenal thyroid complex, if you want to throw that in, the thyroid gland. The tip of the triangle is the adrenal thyroid complex, and the bottom of the triangle is the blood sugar system and the digestive system, and that's where you want to focus if you're dealing with any female health issues. It's not about the uterus, it's not about the ovaries, it's about the triangle, as always. There's a really, really awful female health issue we're going to talk about tomorrow called endometriosis. That is a really miserable thing, and as anybody who has it can tell you. And the doctor strategy, hormones and surgery. The Bright Side strategy, nutritional supplements, and dietary strategies. We'll talk about that tomorrow on The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be back right after this. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. Thanks for joining us. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time. Also on our archive pages at brightsideben.com and pharmacistben.com. And if you want to purchase any of the longevity products, or even better, if you want to join the Bright Side Ben team, please call the Bright Side Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. If you've experienced the power of the longevity supplements, if you've experienced the power of these ideas we talk about on the Bright Side every day, and I know there's a bunch of you out there, and you want to help other people, and you want to make a little bit of money on the side or a lot of money on the side while you're doing it, please call 866-735-2470 and tell them you want to join the Bright Side Ben team for a one-time $25 fee. You can start a business, you can have your own business, and of course, you can also just get your products at the wholesale price if you so desire. 844-236-6010 is our number today on the Bright Side. Get your calls here just a split second. Got a couple studies I want to talk about real quick that I got here. This is from the National Institute of Health, published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism. Quote, some women with PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, horrible health challenge that mostly younger women get, women in their fertile years get. Most women, some women with PCOS may have adrenal disorder. Oh yeah, no kidding. A subgroup of women with polycystic ovarian syndrome, a leading cause of infertility, may produce excess adrenal hormones. No, that's what they say. I say they do produce excess adrenal hormones. Guaranteed. That subgroup, supposed subgroup of women, that's called everybody, every woman with polycystic ovarian syndrome. Focus on the adrenal glands. That's from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism. Here's another good one. This is from the Public Library of Science. Little to no association between butter consumption and chronic disease or total mortality. Love your butter, people. It's awesome stuff. Selenium and vitamin K and iodine and all-important butyric acid, which is so critical for the health of the intestine. That's butter, and it tastes delicious. You know, sometimes people think that, oh, you can't eat anything, or you know, if you start to get healthy, you gotta avoid all the good stuff. No, butter and salt and broccoli, or butter and salt and Brussels sprouts roasted. Lots of salt, lots of butter. That's the good stuff. You want sweet? Go for some beets. Don't eat too much, though. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. Let's go to Susan in California. Good morning. What's up, Susan? Susan, you there? No? Do we have Susan? Going once? Going twice? I'm going to put you back on hold, Susan. And I don't hear Susan, so I'm going to put her back on hold and go to Denise in California. Welcome to the bright side, Denise.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for your wonderful wealth of information again.
Oh, thank you.
How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for the kind words, Denise. What's going on? How can we help you?
Well, I want some information so I could share with my friend on depression. She's taken antidepressant and some other pharmaceutical, and I'm really concerned for her. So,
okay, let me give you some ideas here. First of all, when it comes to depression and emotional health issues or mental health or psychological health issues, I'm always a little bit careful about just going the nutrition route and the food route and the dietary route and all the things we talk about here, because there's so much, there's so much to be depressed about, Denise. The world is the world, the way it is. There's so much. There's good reason to be depressed. So I'm always hesitant to, to work nutritionally that way. However, that being said, there are wonderful nutrients that can support mental health, and nutritional deficiency can actually make things worse or even induce mental health issues.
Right.
So,
she's not been able to eat for 6 years because of over-radiation and cancer. So she's got a lot of things going on.
So she's just depression, of the psychological depression is like the analog of physiologic depression. So in the same way her body is depressed, her immune system is depressed, her energy levels are depressed, her adrenals are probably depressed, her mind is, and her psychology is depressed too, so it's understandable. So let's start turning this thing around. Number one, we got to get the electrical, and this is for everybody out there listening, by the way, and Denise's friend is not alone. You want to amp up the amp up the electrical energy in the body. That's through movement and oxygen. That's the first thing. Okay? Get her on a rebounder, get her doing brisk walks, get her in the gym. Not only will the movement amp up her electrical energy, but it'll turn on her youth and fertility and anabolic hormones, all the things we've been talking about. So making sure that she's moving her body around, that's the first thing to do. Second thing, along with moving her body around, is oxygenating, practicing deep breathing, slow, deep breathing techniques. And in the case of somebody who's depressed, she may want to practice something called the breath of fire, which I use when I'm driving a long distance and I'm falling asleep. And y'all can experiment this yourselves if you want quick energy. Do the breath of fire, which is the opposite of slow, deep breathing. It's quick, shallow breathing, but quick. I'll do. You can't see me doing it here, but maybe you can hear me doing it, and I'll do it right now. Like that. I don't know if you could hear that, but you do quick, shallow breathing, and that perks you up. Now, you don't want to do it a lot chronically throughout the day because you're really jacking up your adrenal hormones, but it's a way to get quick energy. Then from a nutritional standpoint, there's tons she could do. She should definitely be on pregnenolone right away, 100 milligrams. That's not going to give her energy, but it'll help with her adrenal glands. Or maybe DHEA, 10 milligrams a day. The Healthy Start Pack. I would take extra B vitamins, the B100. I'd be practicing caloric restriction, especially if she's eating, which she's the standard American diet. The less she eats, the more energy she'll have, as long as she's getting her nutrients, of course. Juicing's great, but not sugar. Not the sugar stuff. Not the apples and the pears, but the broccoli and the lettuce and the cucumbers. But juicing's awesome. Chicken soup and vegetable soup, for that matter. And I would be taking extra, as I say, extra B vitamins like in a B100 form. You can get that at the health food store, in addition to her Beyond Tangy Tangerine, of course, and then her essential fatty acids, the entire Healthy Start Pack. And then if she's got any digestive health issues, she wants to patch up the gut using the probiotics that we always talk about, the Biolumin or the Ultimate Nightly Essence, as well as fermented foods, and then and elimination diet, food diary, and then the elimination diet. Problem foods will also put a stress on the system.
Okay.
There's so much more you could do, but that's a great start for you. More protein, less sugar is another one. More protein, less bread, pasta, sweets.
Okay.
Okay, take care, Denise. Good to talk to you. Thanks for the kind words. Appreciate it. Have a beautiful day. All right, let's see if we get Susan back. Are you there, Susan? Susan. Okay, I'm not sure what Susan. Susan, you might want to call back, and we'll get you first up, okay? Shayla in Arizona, what's going on? How you doing?
How you doing? Good day to you. Thank you.
Good day to you. Thanks for calling.
I am 60 years old, and I've been taking levothyroxine 75 micrograms, and I've noticed for the past 3 years, I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I've noticed in the past 3 years that my teeth have gotten loose.
Yeah.
They're cracking, they're shifting,
Okay.
and I'm losing, I went in blank. I'm losing feeling.
You're losing your memory.
And,
no, I'm just kidding.
That too. That too.
Now, here's the thing, Shayla. You're experiencing all of the signs of hypothyroidism, which is not unusual for a woman who's 60. It's not unusual for anybody these days, really. Remember, I don't know if you've heard this before, heard the program before, but we have something that we talk about on this program that I noticed from studying people and watching people and seeing people. I noticed that everybody breaks down the same way with 3 points of breakdown that are prominent under all health challenges. The first point is the digestive system, the second, the blood sugar system, and the third, the adrenal thyroid complex. And then from there, everything else happens. That's where you're at. You're at where everything else happens, including connective tissue breaking down, and that's why your teeth are loose. So hang tight, Shayla, because we're going to take care of everything for you in one fell swoop, or at least 3 fell swoops, when we come back from this commercial break. Thanks for listening. You are on the GCN Genesis Communication Network. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll be back. Okay, we are back talking to Shayla in Arizona. Are you there, Shayla? Shayla. Let me see. Hit the wrong button. Hi, Shayla. So triangle of disease. It underlies everything. So once the thyroid regulates all the cells of the body. It's like a messenger that communicates messages to muscle cells to make a muscle, to connective tissue cells to make connective tissue, to heart cells to make it heart, to brain cells to make it brain. All the cells do what they do under the command of thyroid hormone. When your thyroid's not working correctly, you're not going to make thyroid hormone, and your boneheaded medical representative is going to give you thyroid hormone. The reason that's a boneheaded strategy is because the problem is the thyroid, not the thyroid hormone. You follow me? So they replace the thyroid hormone, supposedly. They don't even do that, because Synthroid is not even really thyroid hormone. FYI. Do you know that, Shayla? It's not even really thyroid hormone.
I didn't know that.
Exactly. So nobody's doing nothing for you, Shayla, but you can do it yourself. Number one, you work on the digestive system. Thyroid hormone is activated in the digestive system, number one, and so you can't really turn it on without the intestine working correctly and the probiotics. That's number one. And number two, once your thyroid's messed up, then you're going to be constipated and not absorbing your nutrients. Capiche? Makes sense?
Yeah.
Right? So you got to work on the digestive system first. You should be doing an elimination diet, eliminating problem foods. Get yourself on the Nightly Essence probiotics. Do 9 of them a day. Eat fermented foods in addition to it. Eat as little as you absolutely 100% have to. That means you don't get to eat like your friends anymore, and you'll be healthier and live longer. So that's the good sign. That's the good news. That means you can't do it. At the age of 60, with all this already happening, you have a very narrow window, with all due respect. So only eat when absolutely necessary. Work on the blood sugar system. More protein, less foods that spike the blood sugar system. And if you don't want to have zero tolerance, at least reduce your intake of those kinds of foods. Start using the Suero V. That's a longevity product that will give you energy. SUEROVIV, Suero V. Get letters from folks who can't find it because I don't spell it. Suero is SUEROVIV. And start drinking that, maybe half a bottle every hour. You can do a Suero V cleanse where you don't eat, and then you do a half a bottle every hour, and as a fast. Make sure you're practicing your deep breathing techniques. And as I was talking with our last caller, move that body. Get your body moving. That means a rebounder, exercising. You don't need to do a gym. You can run in place or